Hey guys, what's going on? Rank Up Gaming here, and welcome back to the video. Now, this channel was formerly Blue Monsoon, formerly Emitter, and now it is possibly most likely changing to this new name of Rank Up, or Rank Up Gaming. Now the reason for this is I just didn't find I was content with the name Emitter. It just didn't really say anything to me. Like, Blue Monsoon was the exact same, but it was the fact that I had Blue Monsoon for 3 years that I felt more of an attachment to it and found it harder to change. But with Emitter, I can now look at it and say it doesn't mean anything. At least with Rank Up, it doesn't mean an entire thing again, you know, but at least it has a understanding of where people can look at it and they can say, oh yeah, I can see what this channel's about, I can see what the main objective is, and I can see what they, want to do or hope to do. So that's really the brief explanation about this new name, but I want to get straight into the video rather than dilly-dallying and spending a bunch of time talking about shit that nobody cares about. So this is of course a Battlefield 1 Pro Tips video. Now this whole objective of the channel now is mainly tips. I'm going to be giving you guys advice on things, how to use this best, how to use that best, what this does, what that does, and this is the whole channel. I'm going to start off this whole new wave with a massive video all about the best pro tips for Battlefield 1. Now these tips will apply to other first-person shooters, Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, things like that. They will apply to that as well, but it is mainly for Battlefield purpose. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is accuracy. Now when I talk about accuracy, the number one thing that comes up all the time is sensitivity. Is this too high? Is this too low? What do you use? What do pros use? And to be honest, there's a very, very easy way to explain what is the best sensitivity to go for. Kind of. Now the reason I say kind of is because I'm not going to be able to tell you a straight up number and that's going to work for you, but I can give you a brief idea of what is going to work best for your playstyle. Now if you're a longer range player who has to stay at the distance, take some long range shots, maybe you're a sniper player, then typically a lower sensitivity is better for you. It gives you more control, doesn't mean that when you move the mouse it jumps halfway across the screen and it kind of spins around hugely. And you can take your time more with shots and do little adjustments in order to get that perfect little spot where you actually want to get a good shot off. Now similarly then, if you're a player who prefers to stay sort of in close quarters, running about with an SMG or a shotgun, getting all these close range shots, then definitely something with a higher sensitivity is best for you. You can turn quickly, you can face enemies left and right, doing that very quickly with the mouse, and of course then this works on console as well. And then using the high sensitivity, you do have less accuracy in some sense, because the more you move the mouse, the quicker your player spins. Of course, if you move it a tiny bit, he's going to look a huge distance compared to what would be on a lower sensitivity. Now, of course, if you're middle ground of those two, you prefer to do a bit of both, then you probably want to go for, of course, that middle ground. Typically, when I say middle ground, I usually refer to 20 being a low sensitivity. I play on 22, and up to 40, 45, 50 being a high sensitivity. So of course on that middle ground between those two is going to be one if you're sort of a close quarters player who does occasionally go out long range. Now if you're on PC, of course, there is the whole thing of DPI. What DPI should I play on? What's the best? Honestly, there's so many different types. I personally think 800 is the best. Simply because it's a slow, easy one to control, and it just works with the games. Most games are designed for the sensitivity to match with 800 DPI. If you play on 1600 and you put sensitivity to 20, it's still going to be pretty damn quick, so there's really a point where you're going to have to sort out what you want to get. In terms of pro gamers, they use basically anything now. Gamers used up to like 3200 to 1600 to 800 to even 400. So there's a huge range of that, and you can find a lot of graphs online of certain pro players and what they use. Now of course on console there is no difference in sensitivity for certain controllers or consoles. Everybody's on the same one, and it just depends what you want to use in game. Now if I do have to recommend something to improve your straight up accuracy when it comes to console gaming, then I would recommend Control Freaks. They can be very expensive, but they are little things that go on the end of your thumbstick and controllers, and most of you out there might go, it's just complete bullshit, don't believe it, they don't help you at all, but I honestly would say that it is a big help as soon as you get used to it. In terms of sensitivity as well, the final bit of advice I have is that I usually find it's best to actually take time with your shots and actually put them down range, especially for playing Battlefield. Playing something like Rainbow Six Siege is not so much a problem because one shot headshot the character is dead, but in Battlefield where you need to get a couple of shots to hit the person, then you actually want to take your time and wait for the good shots rather than just wasting your ammo and then them coming up and getting you. Another thing that I get asked a lot is how should I be holding the mouse? Now there are of course 3 different types of mouse grip. I did a video before, I'll link it down in the description below, and honestly again it depends what matters to you. Some people just happen to play PC games, never know there's different ones, and whatever's most comfortable they stick with. Other people do actually fuss over it a bunch until they find one that they think is perfect. Although there's a lot of theory in this, and you should do this and that, and people say that all the time, really whatever works best for you, you should do, unless you are telling that there is something wrong, or you keep doing mistakes or something like that, then you might want to change something up. Now for the second part of the video, I want to talk about movement and your approach to actually playing the game. The number one thing that happens a lot when people play Battlefield is they get into the game and they just run around going after everything. Although in some way that's a good way to have fun, and if that's what you're mainly here to do is have fun, this doesn't really apply to you. But a really good thing to do is to actually think about what you're doing. Don't just think I'll blindly run there. Think, okay, that's a long way away, maybe I'll get a truck, and maybe I'll get a tank, maybe I'll wait for a tank, maybe I won't go for that objective, I'll go for here where there's more teammates. And even then, if you think there's lots of enemies on an objective and you can get behind them, go and do that. Don't just think I'll run straight at them. Think about how you can get behind them and think about how you can stay alive. Don't just think, yeah, I'm going to go in there and charge and get a bunch of kills. Think, okay, if I throw a grenade at these guys now and go in right before the grenade blows up, maybe I can get the grenade kills and I can get some gun kills with them running away. And then there's obvious ones, like if you're playing as a recon, don't go in small clustered areas where you're not going to be much help. Try and stay at longer distances and be a big help to your team, especially if you're playing aggressive recon. That might say aggressive, but that doesn't mean close quarters. You want to stay at a distance where you can still get kills and be a nuisance to the other team, along with those one-shot headshots. And then things like tanks. If you see a tank and you don't have anything to take it out, either look for an effective way to take it out, or just run and hide. If you have somewhere to get and you have to defend an objective, or you have to go and capture one, or even have to go and revive teammates or something like that, there is no point of actually going and running straight at that tank and getting killed. Another thing to do if you end up on your own is actually go up and find teammates. That is the best thing to do that you could basically do when you're alone on your own. Find your teammates, start working with them, see how you can sort of mingle in, maybe get even more kills or do even better job working with them rather than being on your own. So like I said, you really want to think about what you're doing and where you're going to go. Don't just run around blindly capturing all the objectives. Think about which ones are best to capture or even how best to capture them. And of course there is the concept of pre-firing. If you think there's somebody around the corner, or you think they're about to come around the corner and face you, or even if they're running away down the corner, as you turn around, don't wait until you see them, just shoot directly down this corner to try and get them. Even if you think they're hiding somewhere or they're waiting in a room, just pre-fire into that room or into that little hiding spot and you should hopefully get the kill. Now typically when you want to pre-fire, if there's something in front of you like a corner, you really want to put 1 or 2 bullets into that as you are moving around the corner. You don't want to put all your bullets downrange into that wall, of course, that just doesn't help at all, but 1 or 2 will actually give you a really good time to then get around the wall, and you have around about 28 shots if it's an automatic weapon in a modern first-person shooter. Of course, a little bit less in Battlefield 1, at which point you do need to think more. And if the person is hiding there, and there's like a wall or something in front of them, of course, again, go up and put 1 or 2 bullets into that thing as you're going around it. That way you should be on target of where you're looking, and you should be pre-firing way before you need to, meaning you're perfectly covered. If you're playing Rainbow Six Siege, this is a great tip because there is no map in Rainbow Six Siege, meaning you can basically pre-fire anywhere because nobody's going to know exactly where you are. And now for the final bit of advice I have, I want to briefly talk about guns and loadouts. Now it is not essential to master every single gun in a game, although it is very helpful to pick up a gun, know exactly how it works, or even think, yeah, I'll use this one, know how it works already. Maybe a teammate revives you, but he had to pick up your kit to revive you, and now you're using something else. And it's of course then very essential to have a clear understanding of that gun, again, even if you just pick it up randomly and think, I'll try this one out for this round. And again, something not essential, but something you'll definitely learn is actually the sound of guns. In Battlefield, it can actually help you understand what class it is and maybe what they're going to have, maybe what their plan is. If you hear a sniper, you're not going to think, okay, he's just around this corner. You might think, okay, he's top of the building, he's on this watchtower. If you hear a LMG player, a support, you might think, okay, maybe he's lying on the ground, maybe he's in a window. He's definitely not going to be wandering around everywhere. Now, what is important is identifying guns and attachments when you pick them up, or when you spawn in with them, and like Battlefield 1, it's automatically given to you. If you can identify what's on that gun, and you know how it's going to work best, what this does, what that does, you have a huge advantage. If you can realize, okay, this thing does this, I can use this as a grenade launcher, this is more of a range thing, you can actually have a huge advantage over other people using different weapons. And of course, that also comes under the fact of having good understanding of guns, and a good understanding of the attachments. So to combine 2 topics in this video, the accuracy topic and the attachments topic, when it comes to iron sights, you want to use something that has a clear middle post, something that you can definitely see a bunch of things, but at the same time, you don't want anything that has 2 giant blocks on either side of it, to the point where if you can see an enemy to the side, the block is actually going to block them out and you won't be able to see them. if you're tracking a target across a plane, but you can't actually see them because there was a sight post in the way, that probably isn't the ideal sight post to use or the ideal sight to use. But if the reticle is clear in the middle and the sight posts on the side are very small, that is definitely the one to go for, because you can clearly see where you're shooting, you can clearly see around where you're shooting, and you won't really have a problem with tracking targets. It is very much preference what the actual reticle looks like. Personally, I usually prefer prongs or like a cross. It makes it so much easier to see, but again, that's really personal preference. And of course, then for Battlefield, a good understanding of the loadouts and their abilities, stuff like that, or the gadgets they have, of course, is essential again. So now this is all I have for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy. This Saturday and Sunday upload will be a back-to-back, along then with a Tuesday and a Thursday. I kind of changed it up because usually on Thursday I'm extremely busy, so if I make a video on Wednesday for Thursday, it makes it so much easier. This video is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be around about 8 minutes, 9 minutes, but I think it's gone slightly over that. It doesn't really matter, as long as you enjoy the video, that's all that matters. But hopefully you did enjoy it. There will be a part 2 to this, coming out soon, maybe even tomorrow. I don't think it'll be tomorrow, maybe in the week at some point. But again, hopefully you enjoyed. Please hit that subscribe button down there, it's a big help to me. And if your friends are maybe new Battlefield players, or they're the same skill level as you, and you find this video helpful, go and share this video with them, even other FPS players, you know, Call of Duty players, Counter-Strike, things like that. If they might find this video helpful, go and send it to them as well. Hopefully you did enjoy though, and I'll see you next time. Rank up. Out.